All right, guys. Just another rant. Um, Last video was about the Catskills, right? And funny thing was, yesterday I try not to watch too much movies. I feel like it they're kind of a lot of movies are not, for me productive. But I said, you know what, let's give it a try. Let's watch. I'm not a big fan of Marvel comic movies, but we ended up watching um the movie. I had heard through one of the channels I have here on Mind Valley. They had I believe it was a Buddha or a monk, sorry, a monk, and he had stated that he was the one that trained the entire staff of the movie Doctor Strange, I think it's called. And apparently he's like a doctor that has superpowers, and he uses his natural ability to like travel through time and twist the reality and the world and stuff like that, which was pretty interesting. So I said, let me catch the movie, let me watch it, and it was actually a good movie. So it was interesting because it's like kind of like the everyday what I believe that we as a society we kind of are very egotistical, and we listen to the ego, like, okay, I want so much money, I want this, I want power, I want to have this, I want to have that. And then in the movie it shows the doctor um, being this kind of like a self, he was kind of like into himself. He was a good doctor, but he was so into himself that he didn't even realize how he could impact the world being a doctor. He thought that, the fact he had the fast cars, the watches, he had a collection of expensive watches, nice house, he had all everything you need in life, right? And it was funny because I think it's uh, a great definition of what a lot of us are going through. We feel like the more we have, the more we get. Is what defines us. That's who we are. Like the job we have, the money, and any type of power, any type of success. We feel like that's who we are, myself included. And and then you come to find out that that isn't who you are. And In the movie, he obviously has an accident. If you guys seen the movie, if you haven't, don't skip this video if you don't want a spoiler alert. But he has an accident. Apparently, he falls off a cliff in his fast car. Then he's like, I think he's like paralyzed. He learns how to walk again, not paralyzed, but he loses his nervous system is all the nerves all messed up from the accident, from the trauma, and his hands, which he uses to operate other people, and that was his I guess his gift. He was very good at operating. I think he was like a neurosurgeon or something like that. So he was able to repair a lot of people's handicapped or not whatnot. He was able to help a lot of people with his hands. His hands were like the primary way he made a living, and he lost that, and it was crazy because he lost himself. He became crazy, not crazy, but he didn't want to be with around nobody. He was in like kind of an asshole to his girlfriend, and he just became a shell of himself, right? And I believe in the movie it represents showing how we sometimes get attached to certain roles and certain jobs, or certain lifestyles, and we feel like that's who we are. And when we lose that, we don't know who we are, or we don't know how to function without that, and we go, addictions, depression, and we just break down mentally and physically. And in that movie, it depicts he goes and he starts finding ways he starts trying to figure out somebody can repair him, getting back his hands so he can go back to do what he wants to do. And it gave me like a little realization and a message that sometimes in life, it's not about what you want to do. Sometimes you're just here for something, and you might not be able to control it. Like you can't force it. Like you might want to do something, sometimes it doesn't work out. You're trying to force it, it doesn't work out. It doesn't go your way. It might just get worse. So it's like sometimes me myself included, we try to force things. Sometimes you want certain things, you want that way, you want it. It doesn't go for you. Maybe it's not your route. Maybe you got something else to do. And it and it's and it's pretty. I mean, I thought it was a pretty cool movie, and then it also goes in the fact that it says he goes and he wants to learn how to, like, the first he finds somebody else that I believe he was handicapped, and he's walking and he's fine, and then he said, oh, what doctor do you use? He's like, I didn't use a doctor, I use my mind. And he's baffled and stuff, and he's like, oh, what are you crazy? We doctors heal everybody. And then the guy's like, well, what do you think heals those cells? It's your mind. And it's there's a lot of cases of people that heal themselves with their mind, which is amusing. I mean, it's amazing to me that your mind can such a powerful thing. Myself, I had surgery going about 3 years now. No, 2 years. Sorry, 2 years ago I had surgery on my hip, and I'm gonna tell you, the beginning was tough. I mean, the therapy was tough. I was stiff. So to this day, I'm a little bit stiff. But if it wasn't for my mind saying I'm gonna get back to my normal way, I probably would still be walking around on crutches or hopping around, because the hip is such a big joint in your body, and it has such a lot of joints, nerves, not joints but nerves and muscle in it, that if you don't heal right, it's always going to give you issues. So I can relate to the fact that he says the mind is what healed the character in the movie. And then when he starts going to this, he goes to I believe the temple, the Buddhist temple. They start teaching him the powers of the mind, and he starts seeing other guys and other people mastering it and doing things that he wish he can do. He blames it on his hands, and they pull up another guy, and the guy has one hand, and he's doing the same thing he should be doing, but he's doing it with one hand. So it's awesome, because I feel like, and myself, we'd be like, oh, I want to do that, but I don't have enough. I don't know. I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough talent, or I don't have. And then you see other guys doing it with the same thing you're trying to do without all of that, without the talent, without the money. So I guess where there's a will, there's a way, as they say. You just gotta go for it. And another pretty cool thing that I saw was that all his powers that he had and everything that he became was with the use of his mind, right? And it was about him putting his mind to a certain goal, or not goal, but he wanted to reach. He wanted to be able to manipulate, I guess, the environment, and he was doing it with his mind. And it's pretty interesting, because I read a lot of stories and you hear a lot of videos about how your reality you might be able to just shape your reality. Your reality is not you, which is pretty crazy. It's pretty interesting. I'm still, I guess, figuring that out. But in the movie, he goes to the master. He tells I want to master the powers, and she goes, well, you have to master your mind, and he goes, well, I want it right now. So, well, she tells him, how do you become the most successful doctor and surgeon in the world? He goes, with a lot of practice and a lot of learning and years of education. And she goes, that's exactly the way you're going to learn how to master your mind. And that was a great statement, because me, that I'm trying to learn how to go deeper, go within myself, I think I'm impatient. You want to find it right away. You want to do things right away, and it's time and practice, and it's patience. And I think we gotta have patience, right? One, but I think also just the belief that the mind is able to do things that we do not know how strong and powerful and what it's capable of. And imagine that we can heal ourselves with our mind. That is just amazing, right? How much diseases will be cured. So I don't know, I thought the movie Doctor Strange was pretty cool. If you guys get to catch it or get to see it, just try to look at it in a different perspective, not just for the action, not just for the comic heroes and for the fun and the fun of the movie. Look for it for its other meanings that it has. And it's such a such a strong revelation. It has a lot of revelations, and also has a lot of excuse me, common sense. And it's like a lot of the people are just meditating, and they're meditating to different levels. And they also say if you meditate to a certain level, you can able to go into different dimensions, right? And it's what I hear a lot of meditation teachers, they state you have to have, there's different levels of meditation, and with practice you're able to connect with certain dimensions, and then I guess that's like once you do that, you're basically able to understand yourself. And I'm on my way. I'm actually trying to meditate more, and I think it's a life changer. I had a video about this, and also the movie itself is big on. You see a lot of meditation going on, and they're just it's like something that I believe we don't focus on, but I think stillness and patience is another one. A big thing that I talk about: patience and stillness, and just quieting yourself and listening, right, and to yourself. So yeah, when you get a chance, look at the movie, and you guys will probably be amazed by such a lot of references it has to meditation and the mind. Take care, guys.